Alright, we're back.
Yay, here's go!
Let's have some people start hopping in. Here we go. Bunches of people coming in. We are getting ready to get in the water, guys. My goggles? You might want to check if there's some up here, just in case. Hi guys! Lots of love, lots of love. Okay, so we're getting ready again. We've got some fabrics already in the water. We've got a backdrop dropped in. Hola. And we're getting ready to go. Raylan's getting in the water a little bit. I'm going to talk you through a couple things we got going on over here. And then we're going to get right to it. So I've got a couple fabrics in the water that we're going to be using in a little bit. Raylan's actually going to be starting in her lovely pewter dress. I do not normally... I do not normally put people in actual dresses in the water just because it's not nearly as safe. But we are going to be keeping her in the shallow end for this, so she will stay safe. I'm going to do, and a couple people have asked about this. She is beautiful. A couple people asked about my underwater housing and if I'm scared to put it in the water every time that we get going. Used to be, not really anymore, because I know what I'm, know my housing. So, but I'm going to show you the water test that I do every time. Super simple, it's about as easy as it sounds. Let me turn this around. Okay. So all of her makeup will stay and look lovely because of Alex's magic. I don't even bother because I will look like a drowned rat if I attempt heavy makeup on today. So we are au naturel.
All the assistants.
Everybody
no
else has no makeup on.
Everyone behind the camera has no makeup.
So I've already got the camera in the bag, guys. It's all sealed up. There's a couple of different ways that it gets sealed on the top. I've got it good. I've kind of pushed as much of the extra air out as I can because this is going to add a little bit of buoyancy to what I'm going to do. And I've checked my lens port to make sure that everything's sealed up good. So that way when I put it in the water, the first thing I'm going to look for is to see if any bubbles start coming out, because that's a giveaway. So the main things I'm going to be checking is the seal right around the lens port, and to double check that I see no bubbles coming out of that. You would see a stream of bubbles if there was anything in there. And then the next thing that I'm going to test is just pushing the rest of the bag under. I've got a little bit of air escape on the sides from where the Velcro part of the seal is. That's normal, that's fine. I've got a little bit of trapped bubbles in here, but again, I'm not seeing any streams of bubbles coming from where the camera itself is. And then, just kind of pull it out, double check, am I seeing anything anywhere in any of this? We're fine, we're good to go, there's no leak going on. I am pretty comfortable with how to put this together now, so I don't usually expect that I'm going to see anything. But I do still test it every time. It's a good practice, just make sure. We've got a backdrop in. I showed this backdrop to you guys last night if you tuned in. This is just a plain fleece style photo backdrop. I like the fleece better because it's going to absorb a lot more light. So I like to pop that one in. It also dries really easily, really well, just by drip drying. It's essentially a glorified giant fleece blanket. So if you don't want to go get an actual photo backdrop, then this works well if you just want to go down to like the garment district or something, fabric district. 3 fabrics we have in the water. We have a gold, well, it's mostly to the pink that in there, but there you go. There's the gold, because I like gold things. So we've got a gold in the water. We've got pink, and we've got this red. This is the one that I showed you last night that looks really orange. This is the color it turns when it's in the water. So these are 3 different materials. My favorite to work with is this guy, or any fabric that is made out of this. This is chiffon. Chiffon works really well in the water, guys. It moves really, really nicely. You'll see under the water in a little while. It moves really nice. It stays light, so it flows. It doesn't weigh down nearly as much. Even with that, it's still got some weight to it, despite being a lighter weight fabric. This one is like a rayon mix, and it moves really, really well. I was obviously drawn to it for this like champagne-y gold color, and the almost kind of scale look to the shape of the fabric. It's a little bit heavier, but it's light enough that it's still going to move well. This one is a satin, and satin looks good. It changes color in the water, so if you buy satin, just know that whatever you get is going to be a lot darker looking. It's a good looking fabric, it's a good saturated fabric, but it's really heavy in the water, so I do a lot less yardage on that one. Most of these are going to be in the 4 to 5 yard range. just because we're going to composite these. We're not going to wrap her up in a ton of fabric so that she can't swim. So we're going to keep it a little bit lighter, and that's plenty to work with, especially if you've got 45 or 60 inch wide fabric. And it gives you lots of options. You can play and make your own completely new dress every time. We've got a bunch of others here, but this is just the ones that I think that we're going to be using today. But we're going to start with this dress, so we're going to go ahead and get in the water. Raylan, I'm going to let you go ahead and get in, get a feel for it.
Oh, cool.
It's a little way
It's cold.
It's always a little bit. Do you go slow or do you just go there?
I'm a just dive.
She's a cannonballer. Like,
yeah.
It feels good once you get
yeah, I'm standing up to my knees.
What are you gonna do?
My milk braids are officially gone.
Yeah, hair and makeup for the rest of us.
Yeah,
it just
they
doesn't
don't
even
work.
bother.
Yeah, I'm taking my hair down so I don't get stuck in my hair ties.
I think I'm just gonna unflip these babies.
Model it up, Raylan.
Huh?
Model it up.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna look so much better. Pictures than on video.
Photos are forgiving. Videos not so much.
You have to come in too.
I'm coming. Cold. I'm a 1 inch at a time girl, that's me.
It's up to my face.
And I'm just testing light, guys. We're not actually like shooting anything right now.
Oh, it tastes funny. It tastes like saline.
It's saltwater pool. So it's
Feels
not as
funny,
salty
too.
as the ocean, but it's
It
different.
feels funny too.
Yeah, it feels different. It really
It
it's
feels
a
like contact
silky-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a silky-ish feeling. It's not as harsh as chemical chlorine feel.
BTNS.
I'm
That
sure.
who's that?
Huh?
Someone told me to remember swim team.
Somebody, you were on swim team.
I was on swim team freshman year.
I got recruited every year and never did it. You have to be able to swim the straight line to be on a swim team.
Hey, you know what? I was on the swim team, and you know what I did during meets? I timed people. I sat on the end and I timed people. And I hated swim team, so doesn't matter.
Okay, we're going to be keeping you mostly in the shade. We're going to come back to the backdrop in just a minute. So we're going to start on this side while we've got good shade. Alright, so a couple things that I want you to keep in mind. If you guys can't hear me, just ask Sandra to repeat what I'm telling Raylan. Oh, I'm going to need my weight belt too. Up on the edge.
If you guys can't hear, let me know.
One of the breathing techniques that we're going to have you give a try is a technique called breathing up, which is something that freedivers use. And essentially all it is that for however long you breathe in, you double that when you breathe out.
Okay.
It's going to start stretching your lungs out, make it a little bit more of a comfortable oxygenating environment, and we want to make sure that you're getting plenty of oxygen. Every time that you go under the water, you're going to be blowing your air out as you, like right before you go down. Okay. I'm going to be doing the same thing. But you are going to be, you can leave it on this.
I feel like I'm in band again.
Yeah, that's actually going to be very helpful for you. Anybody who sings or plays an instrument, I feel like they've got a little bit of a leg up on this. It's going to get the breathing up is going to get your breath cooking for a little bit, and then you're going to blow out as you go under. I don't want you to stay under for more than 4 or 5 seconds.
Okay.
Being pregnant, holding your breath is not ideal. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen. I mean, like essentially 8 to 10 seconds is really the limit of what pregnant mamas should be doing. So we're going to be cutting that in half. We're going to aim for 4 to 5. So when you blow all your air out and then you go under the water, you're going to do a couple of posy things, and I'll talk you through that in a second. But after about 4 or 5 seconds, just stand up, come right back up for air.
Okay.
And then that same thing, take a breath in, blow it all out again, and then take another breath in, blow it out, go down. So give yourself a full breath in between when you're above the water. For people who are not pregnant, they don't necessarily need to do that full breath above the water. But for you, we just want to make sure that we always keep oxygen circulating through your system comfortably.
Okay.
And anytime you need a break, just take a break. Like, there is no communication that happens under the water. I know that you don't have your glasses on, so you can't really see me anyway, and attempting to talk under the water is a bad idea. We are not humpback whales. So,
if we were, we could get some really good shots if we were.
Every time I give you instruction, it's going to be above the water, and then once we go down, it's actually kind of peaceful. It's very quiet under the water. So you just kind of, you're getting, especially with you without being able to see very much, it's going to be your own little world that you're going to just be moving in, doing your own thing. We're going to work on a couple of specific poses that will sort of come out of the process. If you start to lose the pose while you're underwater, don't try to fight to get it back. Just move into something else.
Okay.
For hands and feet, I know this is a lot of information, so I'll repeat a lot of it later too. Think dancer as much as possible. Point your toes.
Okay.
And keep your hands very soft and flowy, no like claws or fists, thunderbirds. Those are the three no's. Like you want to avoid all the hands, different
kind of shoot.
Yeah, we're not. Maybe for the marionette shoot. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
that'll be fun.
But yeah, then we can do different hands, but not for this particular shoot. We definitely want everything soft and feminine and sort of showing off this kind of amazing I grow humans time that you're in. When you're in the water, we're going to be keeping you in shallow, so that means that you're going to be keeping your body sort of compact. So feel free to keep your legs pulled up when you go into the water. You guys are going to see this when the phone goes under too. The reflection that is sort of one of the really striking parts about underwater photography that you see on the top of the water line from underneath. That only is really going to happen in that last about quarter inch of the water line. So you're not going deep. You want to come just underneath the surface and try to stay there. By blowing your air out, then you're going to be able to have that stasis instead of just popping right back up. You're going to come up a little bit faster because you are pregnant.
And you're buoyant.
So buoyancy is at an all-time high right now.
There's water in there.
And like everybody, I mean, you can ask, Alex did it last week. You can ask anybody who's done this before. If Desiree's on there right now, she could totally jump in and back me up on this. The buoyancy issue is the one that you're going to fight the most. You're going to you're going to think, oh, I'm going down to the bottom of the pool. And you can be like, how come I can't touch it? Like, your body's going to naturally want to come right back up anyway. So, you're always going to be able to get up and get air, no problems. What I also want you to keep in mind for you is that as much as possible, we want your torso turned sideways. We want to be able to see belly.
Okay.
And in the water, straight on, all of that's just going to disappear. So as much as possible, turn sideways. I'm going to give you a couple of chances to get some air, practice going under the water and what it feels like to try to stay there. Let you do a couple of practice ones with that. I'm just going to watch and